Hello and welcome to my channel where we talk about tips and tricks for teaching elementary music. Okay, here's today's video. So it is a Saturday and I decided I wanted to make a video because I live in the southeastern part of Virginia and we're supposed to get anywhere from 3 to 8 inches of snow starting sometime this afternoon and going overnight and whatnot. So there's no point in being outside. In addition to that, we live in an area where we don't have a ton of snow plows. When they do prep roads for heavy snow or even plow them afterwards, it's always the interstates and the secondary roads, but it's never the neighborhoods. So if we get even an inch of snow, we're definitely going to be out of school for at least one day if that snow is still on the roadways in the neighborhoods the next morning. If we get more than an inch, it could be multiple days, and eventually that could turn into doing some virtual teaching via Zoom. And it's been a long time since I've done that, so I thought I'd practice a little bit on that, but I'd also make a video and take you along so that I can teach you as if you're my students. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so if you'll imagine with me that we are on Zoom. I'm purposely not doing it through Zoom because Zoom and video editing software and the way that Zoom records and everything else is just, I don't like the look of it. So it's much nicer to use video editing software to do my screen recording and to use my regular camera that I use for my videos to do that, and then just put them together in video editing. So that's what we're gonna do. So anyway, so here you can see that my students, they're coming in on Zoom, blah, 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 and I share the screen with them after I've taken attendance, and this is what they'll see. They will see this same screen when they come in my classroom on the smartboard. This is the next one. It's got the date. It's got our ICANN statements so that you can see what we're going to be doing. So for this lesson today and the lesson that I will teach virtually if I am teaching from home, there will not be any instrument playing, right? Because the instruments didn't go home, but we can still find a steady beat. We can still sing solfege, we can sing songs, and we can still dance. So we'll be able to do all of those things. Okay, so the first thing I do when I come into, when my students come into my classroom is I play a steady beat song. I usually don't play it from my Google slide presentation. By the way, this is my actual Google slide presentation, most of it that I'm gonna be doing physically in my room for this coming week if I'm physically there. So anyway, so this slide right here wouldn't be in my regular Google slide presentation. You are seeing a basic Google slide presentation. That's pretty much what I teach from in my classroom on a daily basis. The steady beat song, however, I tend to play from an iPod because I'm greeting students at the door, and it's just easier to just go ahead and hit an iPod and let it play on a Bluetooth speaker so that I can stop and start it and all of those things without having to leave the line while they're coming in and go turn things on and then come back to the line and greet them and all that. So anyway, so I'm going to actually play this for you because it is a song that is not copyright infringement. So there is a YouTube Creator Studio, if you didn't know this, that has a whole bunch of free music. Some music that you have to give attributions to if you're going to use in videos, and some that you don't have to give attributions to. This one you don't have to give attributions to. You might have even heard it in the background of some of my recent videos because it's one that I tend to like using as background music. But I thought I'd put it up here in case you like it and you want to go to the YouTube Creator Studio library and find it. So it's Lace Tablecloths by the Mini Vandals. So I'll show you what I would do if this was a steady beat song. So you're not going to be able to see, but I'm going to, so normally I would be patting my legs, so I'll do it up here because you don't see my legs. So normally in the classroom, we would be finding the steady beat as we're walking to our chairs and standing in front of our chairs, and then I'll give them a meter pattern that matches the meter. So for example, I'd be patting my legs, so it's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? But since this is going to be virtual, I will do it up here where I'm not really patting my legs. Here we go. Okay, so you get the idea what the steady beat would be. So then I would take that in the classroom. I would be taking attendance next. I probably wouldn't do that on a Zoom class because I'll be taking attendance as I'm letting them into the room, if that makes sense. But I will probably just stop the song and, hey, who can put in the chat how many beats were in our steady beat pattern, right? Because we're always talking about 2s, 3s, and 4s. Nothing complex in an elementary music room. And then I could say, okay, I want you to listen and see if you can pick out instruments that you hear. And if it's an older group, I might say, can you put that answer in the chat for me? If it's a younger group, I might say, can you give me a thumbs up or raise your hand if you hear the guitar, right? Does this music make you feel, think about anything? Is it fast, medium, slow? Whatever it is that you might want to ask your students, that's what you're using your listening time for. Okay, moving on to the next activity. So in the classroom, the next thing would be a known song that we would sing. And this is a song that I have been doing with first grade for, I think I taught it to them a couple weeks ago, and then we played it on the instruments, and now we're bringing it back and singing it again. So if you're interested in this song at all, there's a great subscription service called Music K8 Magazine, and this is where you can find it. If you have somebody that has that magazine and you want to look at that, or you can just go to the website and look at it. They let you buy full volumes, even older volumes if you want. They also let you buy single songs. I think they're currently up to volume 36, somewhere in there. Anyway, I really like it. It's a good subscription service. A lot of fun songs in there that have different themes to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and teach this to you by rote. I'm not going to play the copyrighted music. Feasibly, I could, because Music K8 has a copyright policy and video policy where the owner of the license, the subscription, which is me, can use it in videos if they're doing it for their students. But since you're not really my students, I'm not going to play the actual copyrighted track, but I will teach it to you in rote so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. So here we go. You'll have to forgive me. I may have to stop and cough a few times, but I'm going to do my best. If I could fly like a snowflake, I'd never ever land. I'd soar above all the oceans and swoop across the sand. I would go up, up, up. I would go down, down, down. I would go side to side and all around. And you can see that verse 2 is, if I could fly like a snowflake, I'd never ever stop. I'd zoom along in a valley and buzz a mountaintop. Then you repeat verse B, or section B, twice. Okay. And if you noticed, I had my form sections up there. Just a little reminder of form, the A, B section. Okay. This is the audio file. I don't know if you know this, but you can get really extra with putting audio files. By the way, all this is Google Slides, right? So you can get really extra with an audio file and change the picture to make it look like something rather than just the standard picture that you saw. Let me escape. That you saw in this one. That's just the standard audio file picture, but you can change the picture to look like anything you want it to look like. Okay, all right, continuing on. So the next thing would be solfege. Now I have a whole solfege file that was originally PowerPoint that I converted to Power Slides that I did not create. It's not my creation. Another teacher a long time ago created it, but I've kept it and I used it. So I didn't put the whole file here. I just put a few of them up here. So I'm going to teach it to you as if you've never seen solfege before. Okay, just to get an idea of what that would look like. Okay, so it's going to go like this. All right, friends, I think I told you last week that we're getting rid of the rhythm patterns that we do every week, and we're switching to something else. This is called solfege. But do you recognize that there's a rhythm pattern up here? And, you know, you wait for the kids to be like, yeah, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and say the rhythm pattern because we know this. Ta, 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 ta. And then they'll repeat after me, okay? All right, friends, now there's something behind this. It's called a staff. It's got 5 lines and 4 spaces. So with the little kids, I don't really talk much about the staff, like the purpose of the staff or name any letters. I'm just pointing out that it's there because it is something new. I get more into that with the older students, right? 2nd grade is when I start teaching treble clef and on up, 2nd through 5th. Okay, so, all right, so let's look at this. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Are they on the same line? And you'd be surprised. Sometimes you get students that can't see that that's the same line, but you'll have quite a few that'll say, yeah, that's the same line. And then I'll say, what about this one? That's different. Okay, so we're going to give this one a note. We're going to call it so. So all 3 of those are going to be so, and this is going to be me. And instead of taking like sticks like we used to do with going ta, 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 now we're going to have a singable rhythm. So because it's on a staff, so that means we can have a pitch. So this is going to sound like this. So, and this is going to be me. Okay. So this is going to be so, so, so me. Notice I haven't added the hand signals yet because I'm teaching it to you as if it's the first time you've ever seen solfege. Okay. Obviously, as we're going through it, it's our 2nd time doing it, 3rd time doing it, you take more and more of that scaffolding away so that they can continue to be able to do it on their own more and more. Okay. All right. One more thing that I want to add up here, friends, and you see them on the screen, and that is hand signals. So is up here like you're going to cover your mouth, but you're not really covering your mouth. And me is down here kind of near the middle of your stomach. Okay. All right. So this is going to go so, so, so me. Can you do that with me, please? So, so, so me. Excellent. Okay, so now that we've established the way that you teach it, I'm not gonna give a whole lot of explanation now, okay? So here we go. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta. So, so me, so, so me. So, so me, so, so me. Ta, 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 ta. So, la, so, me. So, la, so, me. So we're assuming that I already taught them la, okay? Just go with me on this. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta. So, me, so, la. So, me, so, la. All right, so that would be solfege. And I might do, just depends. I'm going to read the room and see how I feel it's going. I might do anywhere from 8 to 15 slides. It just depends on how much the kids are going with me on it, okay? And how much I feel like, where do I want them to be? Do I want it to just end at law, or do I want to continue on and go further on that day? Okay, so moving on to the next thing, which is a dance song. So you can see that I have a video embedded into the Google slide, and I'm going to show you how to do that. This is a Just Dance video that I found on YouTube. And yes, you could just open up YouTube in the middle of class and you could go and type in whatever video you wanted to do, and you could play that video for the students there. But two things that I want to point out. One, you're always going to get ads coming up, right? Plus you're wasting the time Googling that thing, right? Secondly, I would caution you to never play anything for your students that you haven't watched all the way through at least once by yourself, like concentrated on, have it in the background, but actually played it all the way through for yourself before you play it for your students, okay? Because you never know if there's going to be lyrics that are appropriate, dance moves that are inappropriate. It could be really problematic, right? Because just because something says that it's Just Dance for kids doesn't necessarily mean. Plus, there's other videos that you could go and find that are labeled as kids videos that you also, could be great and you might use them, and others that you might be like, I don't know that that works for my students. So I'm going to show you how we can go and get a video and embed it into the Google slide presentation. So let me escape slideshow. And I have a blank slide that we're going to be embedding, but we're going to go to YouTube. I already typed in the search engine, Just Dance for Kids YouTube. There's the one that I have. I'm not sure if that's the exact same channel, right? That it's the same song, but let's just go ahead and get this one, just for the fun of it. So you got to go to it first. Okay, and you're going to you're going to share. So you're copying the link, right? And then we're going to go back to our presentation. We're going to insert video. You can see where it says search. So you could go to insert video and type in a search, like if you knew the name of a video, but I think it's easier to just pre-have the URL. Okay, that's just my personal thought process. Okay, so you're gonna right click, paste, and then hit enter. Okay, so I have not watched this video, and we're not gonna watch this video as part of my video, but just so you know how to find one, okay? So I'm gonna insert it, and you're gonna see it automatically defaults to this. I don't even know why it does this default over here to the left-hand side. So you move it wherever you wanna move it, okay? It doesn't have to look all fancy and pretty, because when you're in slideshow, you have the option to turn this to full screen. So it's not gonna be a problem, okay? But you can make it look however you want. Okay, so if you look over here, you've got format options, and down here you can choose where to start the video and where to end the video. So let's say it's a longer video than you want, or whatever the scenario is, and you want to start it at, I don't know, let's say 50 seconds. Then hit enter, and you can see that it's already moved it to the 50-second mark up here. So then you could play it and see how it did, right? And then the next time you come to this, it's going to show up like that, but it's going to start at the 50-second mark because that's what we set it for. Okay? All right, so that's how to get a video that you want to do for a dance. You also could, if you're in the classroom, obviously, you could do just a dance with your kids where you're showing them choreography, like we're going to do this on the A section. But in a virtual setting, these videos are a great idea because you can put that out there for them to watch on their Chromebooks and to be participating at home with you, and they tend to like that and all that. Okay, so moving on. So we just did a video, a dance video. So we have done, let's go back and review. We did the Steady Beat song. We did our If I Could Fly Like a Snowflake. We did some solfege. We did a dance song. Now I'm going to teach them. So the If I Could Fly Like a Snowflake was a known song that the kids already knew, and we're just doing it again. Now I'm going to do a song that is brand new. Okay. This is definitely the song that is, like I said, this is my lesson plan for this week coming up, being that it's Groundhog Day. So Three Baby Groundhogs is also a Music K8 song, and you can see the information there. Once again, you could buy it as a single song. You could buy issues. You could not use it at all if you don't want to. There's plenty of Groundhog songs out there. All right, here we go. Whoop, sorry. Didn't mean to advance. We're going to go in and do Three Baby Groundhogs. I'm going to do the listen and copy with you as if you're my students. Three baby groundhogs under my house. Baby groundhogs under my house. The first time I saw one, I thought it was a mouse. The first time I saw one, I thought it was a mouse. Three baby groundhogs under my door. Three baby groundhogs under my door. I think that there are three, but there could be more. I think that there are three, but there could be more. Baby groundhogs. Baby groundhogs. Baby groundhogs. 1, 2, 3. Baby groundhogs. 1, 2, 3. Baby groundhogs, cute as they can be. Baby groundhogs, cute as they can be. Baby groundhogs, 1, 2, 3. Baby groundhogs, 1, 2, 3. Who's that baby groundhog looking at me? Who's that baby groundhog looking at me? And yes, I know that's an extremely silly song. Even my kindergartners know that's an extremely silly song, but that's part of the fun of teaching the littles, is you can be as silly as you want to be. Okay. And why not on Groundhog's Day? It's a fun little song. And the accompaniment music to it is a little 80s techno kind of stuff going on behind it. Okay. So after Three Baby Groundhogs, if we were in the classroom, it would be time to play instruments. Now, I'm not going to do that, obviously. If I'm teaching virtually, I probably would throw another dance song in. I think our time is going to be shorter as well if we are teaching virtually. In the classroom, our times are 45-minute classes, but I believe if we do end up teaching virtually next week, that I'm going to be doing, it's either 20 or 30-minute classes. I want to say 20-minute classes, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So less time to fill in, so that's fine. So I'd probably do another dance song and call it a day. But I just want to show you, if I was in the classroom, we'd be doing a melody song. And this is another song. It's another snow song. It's one that first grade sang last week, so they're playing on the instruments this week. It's another K8 song. Snow is falling today. And there's a part in it that says, on my head, on my nose, on my hands, on my toes, on my head, on my nose, on my hands, on my toes. And this just works really well with that to just be E, E, F, F, D, D, C, C, and then repeat. Okay? And that's the B section. So if I was doing this with first grade, I might put a whole bell set. There's a few different ways I could do this. I could put a whole bell set into their hands, and we have bells that have removable bells on them. Okay. So I would remove whatever was in their way. So C, D, E, F. So I might have them remove the G on the other side of that F, just so that they know, okay, these are the 4 bells that I'm playing. So that would be an option. I also have individual bells in my classroom. So I could give those out. Like I could maybe give some people just one bell, or I could maybe give some people 2 bells, or maybe I'd give everybody all 4 bells, who knows. I have boom whackers as well. So you could give out boom whackers. You could give like an E and an F to half your class, a D and a C to half your class. You could also do a combo thing where you're going, okay, I want this half of the class to play bells, and I'm going to give you individual E and individual F bells. Put them on your chair, sit down at your chair, facing your chair. Here's your mallet. You're going to play the E and the F. And meanwhile, I give the other half of the class and space them out with D and C boom whackers, right? So you do end up doing the song twice. The first time they play the bell part, the second time they play the boom whacker part. You just switch the kids around to the instruments, okay? So that is how I would run a virtual class with singing songs. I could do a steady beat song. I could do solfege, play some dance videos. When we were all virtual during COVID, I would do rhythm patterns, and I would have the kids go find something that shakes, like a box of cereal, or find something that they could tap together, like pens or pencils. And we would play rhythm patterns that way. It was playing a found sound. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting to see some things that you could do if you had to do some virtual teaching. And thanks for working with me on this so that I could work out some kinks of what I might have to do next week. I hope you got some tips and tricks out of this video, and I hope that you won't forget to subscribe. Have a fantastic day.